When things have gone wrong, what is fair? I'm Richard Chandler, a psychotherapist who works with romantic partners and business partners. And this happens with a lot of frequency. Something has gone wrong. Something has not worked out the way it was planned, or something unforeseen has happened, and one person or the other is more primarily responsible for what went wrong. How is that handled by a partnership? Well, a big question to ask is, what is the responsibility for the person who did something that didn't work out so well? And what is the responsibility with the other partner in terms of perhaps foreseeing it? Maybe it arose out of something. It arose out of something that wasn't so good. A good example of this is infidelity. Clearly, the person that committed the infidelity is primarily responsible. At the same time, both people are perhaps responsible for the relationship maybe not being in such good shape before the infidelity. So this kind of sorting out of what makes sense, what doesn't make sense for each party and the two people collectively is really what is worth examining. So when mistakes happen, one of the first things I'd invite you to do is to not see them as character flaws, but instead just see them as mistakes. Maybe big mistakes, but mistakes nonetheless. That really helps, because that allows both people to do something different, to perhaps have the opportunity to repair the relationship. But if you see it as a character flaw, it's like, what can you do with that? The second question to ask is, had there been a process in place to perhaps make it less likely for whatever happened to happen? Would that have made a difference? And if so, what process can you put in place now to keep whatever happened from happening again? And maybe it's a financial infidelity. So the process in place would be that both people in the relationship look at the finances together on a regular basis, rather than one person having the responsibility for it, perhaps, but not sharing what they did with the other person, and perhaps things went the wrong direction. Another important point is the role reversal test. Because if you can reverse roles and just say, okay, if this happened, the same set of circumstances, but it happened to the other person, and the person that maybe did the thing that wasn't so good, they were on the receiving end of what happened, how would they feel? So if the other person had been the one that committed the infidelity, whatever that was, and how would you feel if you were on the receiving end? It's a really good question to ask. And it helps repair things that have gone wrong, to put yourself as completely as possible in the other person's shoes, just to see what it would be like. And finally, how do you have compassion for the other person, as well as compassion, the other person that was on the receiving end, and compassion for the person that did something that was just really not right and really not helpful for the relationship? How can you have compassion for either situation? With that compassion, you have an opportunity to rebuild, to repair, to perhaps get the relationship back on track. So these are some things to consider when something has gone horribly wrong and you want to get it better. I hope this has been of help.